Hey guys, Steve Trowbridge here. I did a Stephen King collection video about a year ago, almost a year ago, and since then my collection has been updated a little bit. So I thought I would just do another updated Stephen King book collection. Admittedly, I still have some books, still have some of his books to get. My collection still is not complete. I have a good chunk of his books, I think, but I still need to get like the full Dark Tower series. I have book one. I have the Gunslinger, um, and I still need to get the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, the Talisman, Lizzie's Story from a Buick 8, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. There's a few that I still need to get. But I'd say that I have a pretty good chunk of his books so far. So yeah, and I've read a fair amount of his books, but I still need to. There's still a lot more of his books that I need to read. But it should be a good journey reading the rest of his books. So, all right, let's get started. So first book here, Cell. And I like this cover because it's got the cell phone with the shadow and everything. This was a decent book. I won't be going word for word through. I'll just give a brief thoughts on the book, and then yeah. The Stand. Obviously, this is a freaking thick book. I have not read this one yet. I mean, I know this is like a classic of his. I want to read this one. I'm working my way up to it. Saving the best for last. We got the Bachman novels, which I bought recently. The only reason I bought this was because it has Rage in it. Right there. Rage. And obviously Rage went out of print because of the school shoot. It's basically about a kid that goes into a school, shoots the teacher, then takes the class hostage. So they put it out of print due to school shootings, to like the Columbine school shootings, which, I mean, I guess I can understand, but I still think that's kind of retarded. I don't know. Just my opinion, but I got the Tommyknockers, which a lot of fans don't seem to like for some reason. I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna read it anyways, obviously. But yeah, the Tommyknockers. A lot of people don't seem to like this one. But yeah, I like that the cover, the green glow. Hearts in Atlantis. Haven't read that one yet either. Road Work. Bachman novel. I'm guessing these are like newer covers, but The Running Man, another Bachman novel. Insomnia. I really like that cover with the eyeball in the hand, like that. Blaze, which is a book that he wrote, and I believe it's a book he wrote either in his early days and high school or college. He said that he didn't like this, like he called it a trunk novel or something, like a trunk novel. So I guess I don't know if he didn't care for it, so he didn't publish it or something like that. But I guess I've heard a lot of good things about it. So that's one. I'll probably read that one next if I had to say. Dolores Claiborne. This copy is a little bit. I can't remember. Somehow this got. This copy, somehow it got wet or something, and so the copy is kind of just kind of, yeah, I'll bent a little bit, but this was a really good book. I really enjoyed Dolores Claiborne. Really enjoyed that. The Long Walk, which is another Bachman novel, I believe so. I thought this one was good, but I wasn't super impressed by it. Skeleton Crew, one of his short story collections, which I have not read yet. Different Seasons, which I have read, was pretty good. The Gunslinger, which is the first book in the Dark Tower series. Like I said, I don't have the complete Dark Tower series. I need to get that. I need to get that as well and read that, because a lot of his books, I think, relate to the Dark Tower series or have connections to the Dark Tower series, so I need to read the Dark Tower series for sure. Needful Things, which was pretty crazy. It was pretty good, pretty action-packed, I'd say. A lot of characters. Nightmares and Dreamscapes, which I also have a hardcover for. Another one of his short story collections, probably maybe his biggest short story collection if I had to guess. Got about halfway through this one and I put it down. I mean, there were a lot of, back in like high school or something, there were a lot of books that I started and I put down, but I've become a more disciplined reader, so I want to pick this up again, just start over and read it to the end. Eyes of the Dragon, which is more of a fantasy book. I think he said he wrote this for his kids. That could be wrong, but it was pretty good. 11/22/63. Now this one is one that I've heard a lot of good things about, like time travel and stuff. It sounds really interesting. So one of his more recent books. Salem's Lot. I believe this was my first Stephen King book. Same thing. I got like halfway through it and I put it down. I don't know why. I was in like 7th grade or something, but it was pretty good from what I remember. I want to start over and read it all the way through though. But that's obviously another one of his more famous books. The Green Mile, which I thought was really good, but I'd seen the movie. The movie and the book are pretty much I mean, it's probably one of the most faithful Stephen King movies, if not the most faithful Stephen King movie. So yeah, The Green Mile there. Pet Sematary, which is probably my top 5 for Stephen King. That was a really good book. Really liked Pet Sematary. Firestarter, which I have not read yet. I know there's a movie with Drew Barrymore. I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen the movie either, but I want to read the book first. Next up, probably my favorite Stephen King book so far, Misery. I love this book. I kind of like that cover too. Yeah, really like that one. Got some hardcovers here. Rose Matter, which I read not too long ago. I thought it was decent. I know some people don't like it, some people like it. I thought it was decent. I didn't care for the supernatural stuff, but as far as like the domestic violence storyline with Norman and Rose, I thought that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Do McKee, which I haven't read yet. We got a pretty tattered book. I ordered this and it said that the dust jacket was in good condition, but they lied, so still got the book. It, which is probably, again, one of his most popular books. Have not read this one either. In my last Stephen King book collection, someone gave me a hard time about it. I know I need to read It and The Stand. Again, working my way up to him, saving the best for last. 4 Past Midnight, which seems like a lot of people don't like. There's the Langoliers is in there, which I've not heard one good thing about the Langoliers, so I'm hoping that I at least kind of like it. But that's a little bit scary. Bag of Bones, which I also have not read yet. Revival, which I like that cover. I kind of like that cover. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool cover. I believe his most recent short story collection, Bizarre Bad Dreams, which that cover is freaking awesome with Grim Reaper Death in there. We got a hardcover version of Nightmares and Dreamscapes, which I really like that cover. That cover right there. I actually got that one from my friend's dad because he has like a whole collection of Stephen King books. They're all like hardcover, and he had like two copies of that, of the hardcover, and he wasn't going to read them anyway. So I was just like, well, can I have one of the hardcover copies then? Under the Dome. This was a really good book, great book. The TV series is nothing like it. I'd go with the book. The TV series is kind of crap. Well, The Shining, which is also in my top 5. Loved this book, loved The Shining. The Jack Nicholson movie is a good movie in its own right, but as an adaptation, it was pretty poor. And the reason I switched with that one is Dr. Sleep, because that is obviously the sequel to The Shining, which I also read. I thought was pretty good. Maybe not as good as The Shining, but it was pretty good. I thought Dan Torrance, all grown up, Danny Torrance. I thought he was a pretty likable main character. pretty easy to get behind. Night Shift, Stephen King's first ever short story collection, I believe. That one was pretty good. A lot of people didn't like the short story Gray Matter in that one, but I did like that one. I didn't like The Mangler. The Mangler was in that one. A lot of people liked The Mangler, didn't like Gray Matter, but it was the reverse with me. I liked Gray Matter, and I didn't really care for The Mangler. I thought it was kind of silly. Dreamcatcher, which alongside Tommyknockers and Rose Madder and 4 Past Midnight, I have heard a lot of people shit on this book. Like again, it seems like a lot of fans don't like this book. I have heard a few good reviews for this one, but like it seems like a lot of people just don't like this one. So, but like I said with Tommyknockers, I'm going to read it anyways because I could really like it. You know, just opinion. The Dark Half, which I really enjoyed, thought was pretty good. Carrie, obviously his first ever published book. Great book, a great movie too, the original movie. We got a really tattered and beat up version of Christine, the freaking that's left. I mean, obviously it's like the freaking. I need to get a new version of Christine. If I need to get a new version of any King's books, it should be Christine. And last but not least, Everything's Eventual, which I read the first few stories in here. I rented it from library in high school, but I didn't finish it. So, and this is a new copy that I got. Well, not new, but like this isn't the one from the library. Like it's like I went to I believe I went to Half Price Books and I got this one. So, but yeah, that's my Stephen King book collection. Obviously, I still need some books of his. My collection isn't complete yet, but I'm hoping to get hopefully to complete my collection fairly soon. I'd like to get Lizzie's Story in the hardcover because that looks really cool. The hardcover of Lizzie's Story, if you know what I'm talking about, it's got like a red cover with some just pretty cool designs on it. I definitely need to get the Dark Tower series, the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. Yeah, I'll probably just get From a Buick 8 just because it's just to add to the collection. I've not heard good things about From a Buick 8 at all. Like I've heard nothing but crappy things actually. But yeah, that's my Stephen King book collection. My updated Stephen King book collection. I'll probably make another one of these when I get more Stephen King books, and hopefully my collection will be complete by then. But yeah, so that's it for this one, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.